What's going on, everybody? Again, forgive the air conditioner as it's pretty hot outside, so I need to get cooled off. But I wanted to say that I wanted to touch base and provide something a little bit different than my usual candor of gaming stuff and provide you with my 47.7 hour honest review of Nine Rock Games and THQ Nordic's most recent title, Way of the Hunter. Now, before we begin, I want to let you know about my affiliation with the company, as I believe you guys should know if I'm at all involved with either companies, as transparency is important in this field of work. But I wanted to let you guys know that I have no affiliation with either Nine Rock Games or THQ Nordic. Therefore, this will be an unbiased review of the game itself. So with all that being said, let's get into this. Nine Rock Studios and THQ Nordic teamed up to bring us Way of the Hunter as their installment into realistic hunting simulations, and my, so far it's great. Their Discord is full of great people, and their team is great as well. Helping with big and small problems, nothing gets in the way of customer satisfaction. Along with other people, if they have the same problem, they can be resolved in a relatively short period of time, which is great for a fresh release of a game. They even have their roadmap planned. No exact dates, but at least we know what's coming down the line. Communication is key for customers and individuals that put their products out on the market. So, let's get started with some of the pros of this game that I've seen so far. Number 1, the game is being run on Unreal 5. This game looks and sounds great. So good. I forget that I'm looking at a monitor sometimes, and the details and the environment suck me in and keep me playing for hours and hours and hours on end, which is a great thing for a fresh release, considering it's only turning a week old. Number 2, the animations are top notch. Not only when you hit an animal and they react, but just their movement alone is astounding. Kudos to the animators for this one. Animation and movement is important when you come up to the block with a sim that's referred to as realistic. I've seen quite a few realistic simulator games, and they don't even come close. They don't. Number 3, the blood tracking after an animal is hit feels like it does when I myself, during hunting season, track an animal down after it's been hit. Not only is the tracking on the ground, but it's also on the bark of the trees, small twigs sticking out of the ground, which I don't know why, it just gives me a certain high that I can't explain. It's something about not only seeing it on the ground and not clipping into a fucking tree, but it's also on the tree, it's on the bushes, it's all over here, it's over here. It's great, and I don't know what it is. It gives me a high that I can't explain. That's all I can really say. Number 4, it has a decent storyline so far that I have encountered. Some jobs require a bit much, but it still keeps me playing. Something about it makes me want to finish the quest and grind for it. Number 5, the weapon detail is fantastic and the modeling is great. Everything is licensed material, such as the optics, the rifles themselves, which is awesome that they were able to get those licenses to be able to put that in the game, word for word, everything. Like on one of the rifles that I bought, the 308, I thought, okay, this is just them using poetic license to call the rifle what it is. But when I looked it up, it was real. The definition is essentially a copy-paste from the site itself, from what the company says it is. Like, it's a word for word. What the company says this rifle is copied and put into the game. And it's great. I love that. Like, they're able to get licensed material and be able to do with it what they want to, but they went with the approach of, let's bring the actual real world thing into the game itself, which is great. Now, number 6, there isn't a skill requirement to unlock weapons, unlike another hunting game that we all know and have probably played, myself included. Instead, they take a softer approach to it, that when you have you earn the money in game to pay for it, you can buy it and use it right off the rip. Currently, I was just able to buy the 308 and the 338 with the largest scope available, and when I was able to get them, it gave me a sense of pride in being able to get enough done to be able to get those monster rifles. I don't have to keep leveling up this. I don't have to level a skill like a rifle score or a handgun score or anything like that in order to use it. I can just be like, oh, I have 16,000 credits in game. I can go and buy all this stuff now. That's great. To when I don't want to have to keep shooting animals to build up score even after I have the money to do it. It's great. Now, number 7, promised free DLC. This is great that they're not going for the cash grab scheme. Getting free DLC besides the new maps that will be rolling out in the future as stated in the roadmap, I had to do a double take on that, gives me a feeling of happy. Like, I don't know why, it just gives me a happy feeling. We're getting a game right off the rip that we can play, but now we're getting add-ons to experiment with when they come out that we don't have to pay for as of right now. Like, that could change in the future. I'm guessing that they're not going to go for that cash grab scheme, unlike this other hunting game that won't be fucking mentioned. But the game is already in a playable state. Some say otherwise, but to me, it's where it's at to be played confidently, and it's alright. But now we move on to some of the cons to the game. There's not many, but there are few that I have issues with. The number 1 issue is tracking footprints. And this has got to be the biggest problem I have with the game. They lead to everywhere and nowhere at the same damn time. I'm on a mission where you have to harvest 2 black bears with a fitness score of over 50%. Sounds easy, right? But when I find a bear track, I want to be able to keep on its tail to find it. But the tracks either double back on themselves or completely disappear, and you're not able to track one down at all. Same goes for deer in some cases. This is an issue with me because the way stalking works in the actual hunting world is to keep sight of the tracks and follow them until you have found the animal and have the opportunity to take a shot. The other hunting game I played got this down, but for some reason Way of the Hunter has this issue. I hope that it can be fixed in the future because I feel like exploring the world and what it has to offer and being able to track down the animal I want to hunt and be able to get it by following it and waiting for the perfect shot. Sitting there is kind of boring, but it is what a large percentage of real hunters do, myself included, but this is an open world game. That's really the only beef I have with this one. Number 2 issue. Lacking calibers and gauges of the weapons. This one is not a real big deal, but I would have liked to see some more classic and modern rifle cartridges released on opening day. Yeah, get it, opening day of hunting season. Yeah, I'll shut up now. Anyways, to my surprise, there wasn't a 30-06 or even a 270, for that matter. Those 2 rifle calibers, including the 30-30, have taken more animals than the world is old, that I could say. But I do like the fact that they included some oddball calibers, like 7mm 08 and 338 Lapua mag. I will give them huge props for including the 308 bolt action on the first day of release, as it is a major deer hunting caliber, unlike the other hunting game that took about 5 years in order to add. But even then, I do not understand why they would have two 243 caliber and 22 caliber rifles. That one still confuses me a bit. But calibers that I would absolutely love to see in the game would be 270, 280, 6.5 Creedmoor, maybe 6mm, believe it's 6mm PRC. I would like to see, and maybe even 375 H&H Magnum. That's a rifle cartridge that I haven't really seen in a long time or heard of in a long time either. But that's all I have for this short review, and I look forward to playing it more and gaining more hours on it to see where it goes from there. And until next time, I'm signing off. Peace.